All right. I feel like I need to clean that. Give me a second. Is that better? It's better. Okay. This is a random live stream. There may not be anybody in here. There may. I don't know. I'm gonna wait a few minutes, see if I get some folks in here. If not, I'm just gonna start randomly talking. Hey cousin, I miss you and I love you. Just want to let you know that my number ain't changed. I just be scared to call your number because I figure you're gonna hang up on me. But it's a random live, so it wasn't like scheduled or nothing. So I don't even know if I'm even have people here. Where are you at now? Are you in Missouri or are you still in Texas? Snapchat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Whoever else just came in. This is oh, it's gonna make me tear up. This is just a random chat. Oh, you're in Austin. Why did I think you was in San Antonio? We just went to Austin. When did we go to Austin? It was last year. Last summer we went to Austin. Keena had like a conference down there, and I just went down there and just hung out. Okay. Bye. I really do love you and miss you. Okay. So this is just a random chat. I decided to come on live because I haven't been able to put up videos like I've been planning to put up videos. I was trying to give y'all a video every day up until this election happened. The election is tomorrow. So if you haven't voted already, get to the polls tomorrow. If you are a government employee, don't let them motherfuckers tell you that you cannot go vote. They have to give you at least 2 hours before the poll, 2 hours after the poll opens, or 2 hours before the polls close, and to allow you to go vote. So they cannot restrict you from voting, which is what happened to me in the last election. So make sure you go do that. Get your vote in. I was listening to, I want to say it was the mayor or the governor. I think it was the mayor in Philadelphia or Pennsylvania. And he was giving this speech about how ain't gonna be no intimidation at the polls in his area. He got measures in place so people won't have fear to go out there and exercise their right. No matter who you voting for, you should be able to go into the polls, do your damn thing, and not be harassed or intimidated at the polls. And he said that if you think he playing, fuck around and find out. And that's the type of energy that I've been kind of looking for in a lot of this election cycle, because everybody's been really concerned about what the hell is going to happen on election night, because we know people are ready to turn the fuck up just because, right? So we wanted to know what measures was going to be put in place, because there are a lot of people out here walking around in fear. There's a lot of people out here that's walking around ready to pop off. They looking for I wish a motherfucker would type of situation going on. So we already sense it's gonna be a lot of crazy shit going on. So in his town, in his city, wherever he at, I'm gonna post up the video on the community board once this is over with, once this live is over with. And he like, yeah, fuck around and find out. We got the cops on hand. We got the handcuffs on hand, and we got the jail cells ready. So fuck around and find out. He didn't say fuck around. He just said F around and find out. But you know what the hell he meant. You knew what the F stood for. So yeah, I was looking for that type of energy from a lot of these leaders in these communities, these city mayors, these state governors, things like that, in order to provide a safe environment of voting for their constituents. But we do know that there are some mayors and some governors who are towing the line of violence. They are standing on the side of that too. So that's probably why they don't give a fuck about whether or not the citizens have no fear going into the booth. So I already voted early. If you're not aware, I'm not even sure if I am going to be online at all tomorrow. I told you I had a dream that Harris won by at least 15%. But I do still have some type of, anxiety in the situation. I can't even lie. I don't have fear because I think my fear is like overshadowed by my rage right now. I'm raging inside for some fucking reason. I'm like really angry for some fucking reason. Like I've been joyous these past couple of weeks ever since the Biden Harris twitch. I've been kind of more filled with joy, but this past week my anger has built back up. Maybe it's because of the rhetoric that I'm seeing at these different rallies, the different responses that I'm starting to see from people in the area that's around me that's building that rage back up. So it's not, I don't have fear, but I have rage and I have a tad bit of anxiety, which I shouldn't be having because I'm going tomorrow to the doctor for another little, this is an exam that I'm doing in my chest area, in my heart area, to see what the fuck is going on, to see if there's any damage done. Gotta go drink some dye fluid and illuminate my chest on the inside so they can take the x-rays and shit. That's all I'm doing tomorrow. But because my job doesn't allow us to take partial days off, I'm off for the whole day. But I really don't think that I'm going to even turn on the TV because I think that's just going to build my anxiety more. But I have not decided if I want to wake up Wednesday morning and find out the results or like turn on the TV late Tuesday night and see what the results are. I got a feeling that I'm probably just going to have to watch because I think my sister, maybe probably my mama, maybe even my daughter are going to, like, if I'm not watching myself, we're going to be like, hey, blase won, So I think I'm going to have to be alert. But first I was like, I was going to do it like a live stream or whatever and watch the count. But I think that's going to just really, truly bring out some deep-seated anxiety in me that I don't want to feel. So what y'all plans on? Like, y'all gonna do it? Y'all gonna watch the count as it's happening live, keep updated all day, or y'all gonna stay away from the TV, stay away from the news as much as you can, get secondhand information from people or something? What y'all plan on doing tomorrow night during the election? Last year or last election cycle, I think I woke up the next day. I don't know. I was just under full confidence that Biden was gonna win. So I kind of like stayed up and watched. The year before then, I had a bit of anxiety with Clinton versus Trump. I had a little bit of anxiety there, and I think I watched to the end, and I was pissed. I just knew she was gonna win. Though I don't know. I wasn't sure because there was a lot of Bernie or busters out there. So I remember watching Dave Chappelle, the Saturday Night Live skit that came on right afterwards. When Obama won the year he ran, I watched that whole thing in its entirety. When they started celebrating in the streets, I was jumping for joy in my house. I wasn't out in the street with them people though. I'm not into crowds like that like I used to be. I know when I got off work today. I got off work probably about 6:30 today. In the area that I work in, it's predominantly a white area, predominantly millionaires or well-to-do folks, at least six-figure folks, you know what I'm saying, that work in this area. A lot of doctors, a lot of movie stars, a lot of basketball players, everything work out in the area, right? So I'm going to say a lot of Republicans. So when I got off work, there was like this little crowd on the corner. I didn't see them at first. I just kept hearing horns blow all over the place, right? Horns was blowing. And then I saw this big truck. When the big boys, when the monster type trucks come through with a big Trump flag on the back of the truck, and he was blowing his horn. So then I say, oh, people are blowing their horns at him, in agreement with the truck or what have you. But then I noticed there was a crowd of youngsters. I'm going to say in their 20s, if early 30s, maybe, on the corner with their Trump signs, screaming and jumping up and down and everything. They hyping up the crowd in that area. Not near any polling places that I'm aware of. I don't think we had any polling places. And I want to say last year they was like parked right in front of my job, which I complained about last year, or last election. I complained about last election because one, we're a government facility and they supposed to be more than 100 feet from our facility, and they weren't. They were like right at our gate, so we had to bust through their ass just to get out the gate. So they moved to a different corner this year. So it looks like that tonight, Orlando is going to be ramped up. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to go to a rally, an early voting rally, that was hosted by President Bill Clinton. I wanted to go so bad. I got an email, probably Saturday night, and I was like, "What is this, right?" Get the email Saturday night, and I responded to it like, "Okay, I'll go." But an email didn't say what time of day the function was going to be. It didn't say the location. It just gave me a zip code. The zip code was near my mama over in the hood. I was like, what kind of freaking rally they finna have that Bill Clinton gonna be over in the hood? Well, later that night, I got the response back saying, okay, your spot has been reserved. It can only be for you only. You must bring your ID. You can't bring this. You can't bring that. This. That. These are the Secret Service regulations. I was like, oh, so this shit is real. Okay. And I went through there and they sent the time. So I knew it was going to be from 12:30 to 3. Now I had to meet somebody at 2:30. I was like, I'm going to meet them late or I'm going to just have to leave my spot early. I was already making it up in my mind. The next day, Sunday morning, I got up, had to take the dog to the groomer. Toenails getting a little long. Took him to the groomer. He didn't act right, so he didn't even get groomed completely. He had like 2 toenails cut. And we headed back home. Got to the gas station because I was out of gas. I mean, I had like 20 miles left to the tank. Filled up. Got back in the car to come back home. My fucking car died. I mean, it didn't crank over. Did no lights come on. I was like, what the hell? No click, 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 click. No ding, 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 ding. None of that. Windows wouldn't go up and down. And it's me and this big ass dog breathing on my doggone shoulder. And I'm like, fuck. Okay. I knew I had to take my mama somewhere. I knew me and my daughter were supposed to go to the grocery store. And I was trying to make it to go see Bill Clinton at 12:30. Now, I know I had already early voted, but it didn't matter. I didn't know what the rally was going to entail, but I was going to be there because I wanted to see Bill Clinton. I saw Obama speak when he ran for election, but that's it. And Kamala Harris, as far as I know, did not do any type of rallies here in the Orlando area for me to attend. So I was like, I'm at least going to be a part of the process, and I was going to give y'all a video. I was going to surprise y'all with a video of me sitting there recording Bill Clinton, hopefully try to get a handshake or a dap up or something. Hey, Anna, how you doing? And I don't even know who all in this room. My cousin was here, but she said she was leaving. So you the first person that spoke besides my cousin. But it's at least 4 of us in here. I'm so glad you got your package. I hope you loved everything in it. And I haven't started selling the lotion yet, so you're the first person. You're the first person to get that lotion. I was going to say you're the second person. I gave one away, but I gave that one away after you got yours. Okay. So, yeah. So once my car broke down, I was like, I got too much to do. I got to get a rental car. I got to get to work this week. And so I went to go rent a car. Nice. It's a weird, nice little car. Rented a little car, but by the time we got through, it was like well after 1 o'clock. And I had to be, it was 1:27. I would have to have been at the place, the location, by 1:30 in order for me to get in. They held it in Eatonville. So the body scrub is delightful and lotion is perfect. Yes, yes. Great consistency, not overly. Yes, that's what I was hoping for. That's what I was hoping for. And because first I was thinking, okay, the lotion may be too light, but it retains moisture well. That I at least I thought. And being especially since I work around a place that has a lot of paper, I was like, is this gonna hold the moisture in? Yes, I'm glad you loved it. I'm glad you liked it. So I got the second email about 5 minutes before my car broke down, and it gave me the address. So it was held at a black church over in this little town called Eatonville. Eatonville is supposed to be the first black neighborhood in Orlando. So I was like, oh, okay, which basically was 5 minutes from my house, right? I really could have walked there, but I had to be there by 1:30 in order to get in. And it was 1:27 when I finally got the rental car. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to go about my day and get what I need to have done. Ran my mama to the store. Then me and Keenan got a bite to eat. By the time we got done, it was like 3:30, 4 o'clock. I was like, my day was over. My day was over. So unfortunately, I did not have the opportunity to get that surprise video. I would have loved to just been in the room just to see what he was gonna say, see what we were gonna do, or what have you. And then they sent me some links because they contacted me the next day to ask me, contacted me later on that day to ask me what did I think about the event, and I was like, I missed it. So they was like, well, we got some more that you can sign up for and you can be involved in, but they all were today in the daytime between 12 and 3, and I was at work, so I couldn't do that. So yeah, I missed my opportunity to go to at least one voting rally or voting event that was hosted by President Bill Clinton. I'll be damn. I'm kind of hurt by that. Y'all. I'm like, oh, because they was gonna let us record. We couldn't bring nothing in but our phones. We could bring our ID, our phones, and our keys to our car. That's it. That's all they was allowing in the building. If you had a purse, it had to be the size of a clutch. I don't own a clutch purse. And so, like, yeah, I couldn't bring shit else in. Everything is going to be in my damn pockets. But, yeah, this election cycle here has been absolutely insane. The closer and closer we get to tomorrow, the more deranged shit comes out from Donald Trump's mouth. He said something about this. Somebody, of course, he's talking about another potential assassination attempt. If somebody's going to assassinate him, then they're going to have to shoot through the media, the fake news to get to him, and he ain't going to mind if they do that. He got up on stage with Tucker Carlson whack ass and said that what he wondered what would happen if guns were pointed at Liz Cheney's head. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And why is he sitting up on these stages being allowed to make these statements? Like, you verbalize a threat to somebody or about somebody, usually the law intervenes, but they just won't do shit to this man. It makes absolutely no sense to me. And I know everybody keep talking about what just make sure we show up at the polls enough that the spread is going to be so big that it's not going to even matter. I honestly think that that's not going to matter. I don't care how big the spread is. If she win 99% to 1%, he's still going to say he won, and his base of people going to still do whatever it is that they've been planning to do for the last 4 years. Because trust me, it's been in the works for the last 4 years. The Capitol was just a test drive. They know how the people are going to respond, which is very different. I work tomorrow, but my company said no meeting so people could go vote. I mean, that's good. That's good. My office, like I say, by us being government employees, and this is supposed to be nationwide with any federal employee, we're allowed it time to go vote. So wherever you live at, when your poll opens, you have 2 hours from the time your poll opens or 2 hours from the time your poll closes in order for you to vote. And remember I told y'all last time somehow I did vote last time? This is why, because they was arguing this in my office. I know Justin was saying that I forgot what Justin was saying. I forgot what Justin said, but basically that's what it was. They was arguing whether or not we could really get off in time to vote. Like right now, I didn't get off to 6:30 today. So, and I went to work at 8:30. Our polls here in Orlando, I believe, open at 8. Let me find out. Voting time, Orlando. I said, well, I want the voting time. I hate Bing. Like my laptop is Bing for the browser. It would not let me switch to Google for nothing. Voting time tomorrow. What the hell is time to vote? When does the vote? From 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. is our time to vote in Florida. So from 7 a.m. I would have from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. to go vote, right? I had to be at work at 8:30. So that means I would be coming in after 9. Or they close at 7 p.m. I got off at 6:30. I would have had to get off by 5 in order to make sure to have my 2-hour window. And they was fighting that last election cycle. And saying we couldn't get off, or we wasn't allowed to get off. And like the way my job is, I can't just leave my assignment in the middle of it. I have to already be like back at the office shutting down in order to walk out the door at 5 o'clock. So yeah, I wasn't finna let that happen this year. I wasn't finna let that happen. When I got off, the majority of people was gone. Hey Kat, what's going on? Girl, this live ain't about nothing. This was so random. I just decided to come on and just to talk and just to talk, express my grievances and my anxiety that I'm feeling about tomorrow's election, about the election results. How I was saying, like, I had a prediction in my head that Harris was going to win, but I am still feeling some anxiety. I'm not feeling fear, but I'm feeling anxiety. And I'm feeling a lot of rage. There's a lot of rage building up in me. And I said it's just basically because all this doggone rhetoric that I've been seeing in the news, all the stuff that's been happening in his rallies, the way people around me have been responding, my clients, how they've been responding to me. Yesterday's video, I recorded that on Saturday when I went to work. Wait a minute, today's Saturday. What's today? No. What is today? Today's Monday. I recorded it on Saturday when I went to work. And the volume on it, to me, is hella low. When I first played it back, it seemed like I could hear it. And then when I played it back again, I was like, I can't hear shit. And it might have been a good thing because I was hollering. I was so angry when I recorded that video. But yeah, I'm just feeling all these different like emotions and shit. So I was debating on whether or not I was going to actually watch the election results live. That's exactly how you feel. I think there's going to be a lot of shenanigans tomorrow. I think there's going to be a lot of shenanigans for sure. And I hope nobody hugs you, then shamed you for voting Kamala again. Nobody hugged me. The crazy thing is that one client of mine, it's so weird because like we had, I thought, such a beautiful relationship with one another until that conversation. And the next day when I drove past his house, because I didn't have to go to him that next day, he had a big Trump sign on the garage. Wasn't there before. He hasn't had any signs up this entire time. And I was like, ugh. And like I said, when I was leaving work, there was so many different people who were already out in the streets with their Trump signs big monster trucks driving through with the big flags and just blowing their horns at people and flashing their bright lights. All that was going on once I left work. So I figured tonight is going to be a whole lot more of that. And I think it's going to carry over well into the morning. I don't think they're going to go to bed tonight. I don't think they are. Orlando usually shut down and go to sleep. I'm going to keep myself busy tomorrow. Work, wash my hair. I may even twist it to stay busy. I'm going to try my best to stay off the internet. But I know, unless my sister is staying off the internet, she's going to call me with the election results. Or my mama, she's going to call me. My daughter claimed that she was going to probably be doing her live stream. And if somebody mentioned the results in her live stream, she was going to block them. But she may get the information before me too. So I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. I just know I feel anxiety as far as watching it. Because like the last thing I watched that Donald Trump said. Okay, in addition to him already saying on day one he was going to be a dictator. He just said, I want to say yesterday, that on day one, his first thing to do is his mass deportation plan. And he plans to enforce that by drawing on a 1778 or 1878 idea. Let me see what the heck that was. It was the Alien Enemy Act. Here it is. The Alien Enemies Act of 1798. Under this law, the president could authorize the arrest, the relocation, or deportation of any male over the age of 14 who hailed from a foreign enemy country. It also provided some legal protections for those subject to the law. Now, this is the thing. We already know that Trump is going to revise the meaning or the interpretation. I'm okay with the results, but I don't want to watch as the numbers come in and hear the crazy commentators. I don't know if I want to know the results because I feel that I'm right. I feel she's gonna win, but I don't want to know the results if she doesn't. I think I just gonna need a moment to sleep peacefully. And if I hear that she didn't win earlier in the night, tomorrow night, I'm not going to be able to sleep comfortably at all. Yeah, I don't want nothing from 1798. They already rolled back our doggone abortion rights to 1864. Okay, so this is the thing, right? I'm not sure what the Democrat Republicans are, but this act, the Aliens Enemy Act, was opposed by the Democratic Republicans. Let me see if I can find out what the Democratic Republicans were. No, it's nothing specific. They say what it is. So my thing is, this is supposed to happen to males over the age of 14, according to this act. I do not believe that Donald Trump will restrict this to only males. The age 14, how is he going to determine who is 14 and who is not? Because people that are age 14, you usually don't even have to get a license, ID, until you turn 16. And that's usually maybe when you get a driver's license, they don't even enforce state IDs on 16-year-olds. So how are you going to determine if somebody is 14? Even if you did a stop and frisk, if they're not legally required to have an ID at the age of 14, how are you going to determine that they're 14? So I do not believe it's going to be restricted to males only. I do not believe that they're going to care about whether or not you're 14. I think that if they are able to enact this, they're going to try to make you prove how old you really are. And then it also says this is supposed to be specifically for people who hailed from a foreign enemy country. The the countries that we as the United States consider as enemy countries are the countries that Donald Trump admired. Russia, China, what's the other one? Is it Hungary? All these are North Korea. These are the places that he admired, that we would consider enemy of the state or enemy of the country. So Mexico is not an enemy of the United States. Haiti isn't an enemy of the United States. Um, the many countries in Africa are not enemies of the United States, at least not at this particular time. But I believe that he's going to rewrite who is considered to be enemy of the state. Cat saying Trump supporters or racists will turn them in. It will not be limited to males. I don't agree. It will not be limited to males at all. Anna says the Yahtzees made people carry national papers. Like, imagine having to have your birth certificate with you at all times. Girl, I don't know where my birth certificate is. I don't think I've seen my birth certificate since I last applied for my passport the first time. Which I gotta find it now because I gotta reapply for my passport now. And then I was so concerned with how that will look as far as us as citizens being able to travel back and forth. If he deems any of these places as enemy of the states, that's going to limit our travel. Or hell, I may myself may be considered an enemy of the state. Just based off of skin color. Because how are you going to be able to tell me from, I'm just going to use Haiti since he brought them up. How are you going to be able to tell me from them? It can't be just based off of my language that I speak, because being down here in Florida, I get so many Latinos who assume that I am Latino. And I speak with the most African American vernacular that you could possibly believe. My Midwestern swang done mixed in with this Southern slang. I am about as American bred born as you can possibly be. But when I speak to these Latinos down here, for some reason they all assume I'm from Cuba. Even the Cubans I've met. I don't know why. I don't speak Spanish. I barely speak a lick of it. I know a little bit. Scotia Day is Japanese. I speak a little bit of it. But they still assume that they will argue with me tooth and nail that I'm from Cuba. So I could be easily mistaken as someone from the enemy's country or state based off of whatever concepts that Donald Trump come up with. And he said, just yesterday, that he was going to put this into effect on his first day in office. This is going to be the largest deportation of people that the world has ever seen. Those were his exact words. And I'm so sick of his supporters saying he don't mean it. It was just a joke. Y'all can't take a joke. Y'all don't know when he's speaking in hyperbole. You don't either. When is he ever telling the fucking truth if everything he's saying is a joke? And it's for somebody who's supposed to be the leader of our country or trying to be the leader of our country. At what point do you start being serious? I've been taking them serious for years. Okay. So yeah, I had never heard of this act before, the Alien Enemies Act. Said the Alien Enemies Act was not allowed to expire with the other Alien and Sedition Acts, and it remains in effect as Chapter 3, Sections 21 to 24 of Title 50 of the United States Code. That's crazy. Oh, and apparently when I heard him say it yesterday, wasn't the first time. On September 20th of this year, 2024, former President Donald Trump announced that if elected president for a second term, that he would invoke the Aliens Enemy Act of 1798 to expedite the removal of non-citizens and criminal networks operating in the United States. Well, on the criminal network, if you're going to remove a criminal network operating in the United States government is the biggest one. Um, Naturalization Act, that's something different. Sedition Act, that's gone. I hope I ain't missing none of your comments. Okay, so yeah, but yeah, I think they gonna be down here acting the fool. I just feel it. It seems like it's in the air that they gonna be acting a fool. But like I was saying, JD Vance better kiss his wife goodbye. When you bring it, I'm glad you brought that up. One of the things I mentioned in another video, which is just me randomly pulling something out the air. I believe that the MAGA people and the the Heritage Foundation people are two different factions. There may be some overlay, some crossover there. I believe that Trump is MAGA. I believe that JD Vance is of the Heritage Foundation. When I read through Project 2025, majority of everything that they are targeting in Project 2025 is women, gay people, and specifically black people, when we talk about a race of people. And Muslims. They're targeting Muslims. Those are the four main things that you keep seeing repeatedly pop up in the Heritage Foundation. JD Vance's wife would be classified as a white woman under the Heritage Foundation laws. MAGA folks, the MAGA extremists that we've seen, they want a white Christian society, period. So those are the ones who, when you hear the Republicans throwing shots at JD Vance's wife, that's those people. And I think there's two different factions working right now together to take over the country and modify our democracy or remove it altogether. And I think the Heritage Foundation's primary goal is to get JD Vance in power. Now, his sons, they are the ones who convinced Trump to bring JD Vance on as the VP. He wasn't vetted by Trump's MAGA teams. Trump just did what his son said. And I believe that Trump thinks that his sons are down for his daddy. If y'all watched the Game of Thrones, I think y'all did. People, because that's only two of us still in here now. I think y'all watched the Game of Thrones. There was a character named Ramsay Bolton. Ramsay was a fucking tyrant. His daddy was just as much of a tyrant as he was. He was almost a seemingly even bigger tyrant, right? If there was one point in one of the final seasons that Ramsay ended up taking out his daddy because he thought that his father was going to help put him into a position of power, and then his daddy ended up having another baby out there, what have you, a new baby, and because he was a bastard child, he was going to be stripped of his rights. And I think that's what his sons feel like daddy was going to do, because, he's selling down the river quick. So they hooked up with the Heritage Foundation. This is all speculation. It's all speculation, but this is what I'm thinking. They hooked up with the Heritage Foundation. They think that they're gonna have a place or position within their foundation. A lot of the stuff that they spew is in direct line with the Project 2025 outline. So when Donald Trump speaks of him not having anything to do with that, in a way, I kind of believe him. Even though his name is throughout the document. Like you can do a search on it. The 922 pages, his name appears 312 times. And each time it appears, it says they are speaking of a policy that Trump may have had or that Trump wanted to implement that they want to use. And then they have a breakdown of the modifications of how to make that plan work. So no, I don't believe that he read it. I believe that he knew that they were going to use his information to come up with all the jargon in it. But as far as how it's going to be implemented, I think he has absolutely no clue. Because I think their whole thing is to not let him be in charge, in control. I want to say on page 212 of the document. No, it's not. It's not 212. In the mandate, there's a mandate that came out separate from the whole booklet. In the mandate, it specifically says, yeah, his administration definitely does, and he's just a puppet to sign the paper. Yep, I agree with that 100%. 100%. His administration, a lot of them was part of it. That's why I say it's a lot of crossover. It's a lot of crossover between the MAGA and the Heritage Foundation people, I think, as well. It's a lot of crossover. But I'm one of the things I was thinking about the fact that he may not have been like the one who sat down and pinned it down is that I've lost my train of thought. What the hell was I finna say? I don't know what I finna say, child. It was two things I was talking about, but now I don't know what I was finna say. Oh, I'm gonna go back to the mandate part. In the mandate part, it specifically says this is not going in effect if Donald Trump goes into office. It specifically says that no matter who wins the election, whether it's won by a Democrat or won by a Republican, that they are going to move forward with implementing Project 2025, which lets me know that it is separate from the MAGA as a separate entity. You understand what I'm saying? A separate faction. It's separate from the Republicans. This is something that they were going to implement regardless of what person became president. And they plan to enact it from inauguration day. That's when they're going to start moving it into effect. Inauguration day. The thing I was going to say about Trump not knowing anything about it. My biggest gripe with him and not knowing anything about it or not reading or not understanding what's going on. Like I said, I doubt he read it all, but I'm quite sure he's very aware of the things that they use because he had many conversations with the Heritage Foundation before. He's done interviews with them before about them getting this big plan together and everything like that. You're the person that's supposed to be attempting to lead this country, right? Why don't you know? You should know what is supposed to be coming through the pipeline for the company, the country you're trying to take over. Because based off of a lot of the things that you claim you want to do, in opposition to what the Heritage Foundation has put together, you're going to need to combat that some kind of way too. Them people, you want Americans to be scared of you. Them people ain't scared of you at all. They using you 100% as a tool. Just like Anna said, he is a puppet. And I personally think that he won't make it to 2025. Personally. Especially if he don't win. because they are still planning to implement Project 2025, regardless if Harris is in office or if Trump is in office. They plan on implementing that and pushing it forward. Let me see if I got the email. Tell me what email I signed up under. Because I signed up for a child. Pretending now. Because they recruiting. They recruiting people who want to be trained in how to run the government, how to teach the schools, how to run the religious organization. They'll use the 25th Amendment on him and put Vance in. Exactly. Hey, what's up, PJ? What's going on? Yeah, they would definitely use the 25th Amendment on him and put Vance in charge. Or if his assassination attempts happen to work, then the Republican delegates, they get to select whoever they want to be in office. And majority of those delegates have already been put in place via the Heritage Foundation and the Extreme MAGAs. Vance is their guy. Trying to remember what email account that I signed up. Because on my phone, it's a series of them all together. Hold on. I got like 15 doggone emails, child. Nope. I don't think I use my real name on none of these stuff. So that ain't it. Let's see. If it's under this. I'm sorry, I'm chewing gum. I'm supposed to start fasting at midnight. So I was like, I needed to do something as far as to keep me from being hungry. It's not on here either. Okay, so I don't know what email account I signed up with, but it's an email account that's on my phone. I don't have all my emails attached to my laptop. So I have a little anxiety about that. And I'm telling you right now, as much as I've been talking about I need to get my health back in shape, I think a lot of my anxiety come from that. Because I'm like, I'm a fighter. And I feel like I wouldn't be one of them people that was just going to succumb to somebody trying to oppress me, that I'm going to have to be the one to fight back. And then I'm like, well, what if the fuck I run out of breath? Because I'm so overweight right now. I be thinking about shit like that. That's the kind of thoughts that be going through my head. This is why my black ass is in therapy. I be having all these crazy ass thoughts. Like I'm going to have to, what if I need to run? Or if I need to fight back and I run out of breath? My heart start palpitating extra hard. Then I have to stop and take a breather. I don't want to be that person. So, I don't know, child. I do not want to be living in no dystopian future. I don't want no handmaids type of shit. But like I say, if you look through the Project 25, a lot of that is simply just taking rights away from women left to right. I don't know who I was talking to this about before. It might have been y'all. One of the things in Project 2025 that got me thinking about the black men who were supporting Trump had to do with child support. So in Project 25, child support, the male will be given 100% rights to monitor any money that they pay to a woman for child support. So they'll be able to monitor what that woman is spending it on. If she's not spending it on specifically for the baby, they get to file charges against her, this, that, and the third. They also have a thing in there that they're going to force joint custody on these relationships. But the one thing I think that they probably overlooked, that the final line says, they also are going to force them to get married. Now, I don't know how they're going to do that if this man has multiple baby mamas. Which one they going to choose to be the one they going to force him to marry. But that's what the final guideline is. They have to go through some type of classes that's going to gear them up for marriage. And they have to marry the baby mama. Okay. But the baby mama has no say so over whether or not she wants to marry the guy or not. No say so at all. They just remove her rights for that. They remove her rights as far as being, even if the child is living with her, the baby father will be able to come into her home and tell her how to discipline, how to raise, again, what to buy for the child. This is all broke down and outlined in Project 2025. They are stripping women of the rights to buy condoms. So, they already attacked abortion rights, right? They've already attacked IVF rights. In Project 2025, there is a specific line in there that says women will no longer be allowed to buy condoms. Women would not be allowed to be taught, at least in my high school, my junior high school, we were in our health class. We were taught about reproduction and, bodily changes when we start going through our menstrual cycle and things like that. The only thing that we're going to be allowed to be taught, according to Project 2025, is about having babies and how to prepare ourselves to be the perfect wife. And that reminded me so much of The Handmaid's Tale. And I wish I wasn't on my phone. I wish I had my other phone already, because I downloaded so many of the individual pages from Project 2025 that was specific to these topics, so that way I could show y'all that I'm not making this shit up. This is exactly word for word what they're saying they're going to do. We lose our right to purchase condoms. They did that in The Handmaid's Tale. We lose our right to birth control was not even an option. So they just want to rampant STDs and dump warrants. Or if they, Trump wants to put RFK Jr. over the health department of the government. Like, this clown, he probably the one that told Trump to drink the damn bleach for COVID. Trump is really making a mockery of America. He wants to put Kennedy over the health. He wants to give Elon control of finances, and which was crazy because Elon actually said that Trump's tariff shit was a bad idea. Trump's whole economic plan was going to send us to the toilet, but he wants to put him over the finance. He wants to put what's her name? Eileen Cannon, the judge who threw out his case down in Florida. He wants to put her as an AG, and then somebody else. I know Laura Loomer's supposed to have a position, but they haven't announced what it is. MTG so far ain't got no position. It was somebody else. It was a third person that made the news that Trump was going to be assigning to his administrative team. That just didn't make sense. We already had his kids assigned last damn time. Now he finna bring some more fools, some tomfoolery up into the administration. If he, you know what? And I don't think Kamala Harris has talked much about her cabinet. The only thing we know for certain is that she's going to put in a Republican, and when I did my little poll, Liz Cheney seems to be the most likely candidate to be the person that she assigns to her cabinet. But as far as like other members of her cabinet, we haven't heard her, or at least I haven't seen her speak on what her cabinet is going to look like. If she's going to retain some people. Ooh, hold on, my back itch. Hold on. What is this? This is something. Oh, let's go to the doggone. Let's go to the vacuum. I need to scratch my back with it. Hold on. I got a spot I can't reach. Oh, right there. I've never used this on my vacuum, so don't mind me. It's a good back scratcher though. Okay. Oh, that feel good. Um. So yeah, his whole cabinet makeup is just idiotic. It's like, I don't know, he's just pulling people randomly out the air and be like, okay, I'm gonna stick you here, I'm gonna stick you there, I'm gonna stick you here, I'm gonna stick you there. He wants to do away with the Department of Education. Um, that is also consistent with Project 2025 to completely do away with Department of Education. Um, he wanted to get rid of the Department of Treasury. And I think when he thinks about the Department of Treasury, he only thinks about the IRS because he doesn't want to pay taxes. He doesn't want to have to submit tax returns himself. But the Department of Treasury encompasses so many different organizations. But he wants to get rid of the Department of Treasury, Department of Education, do away with Medicare and Social Security. In Project 2025, they actually were not getting rid of Social Security and Medicare, but they were revising it in a way that it still was not going to help the average everyday American. What else? What else he was getting rid of? It was like 5 different departments he wanted to get rid of. Department of Justice. He wants the military to be on the streets instead of. He basically wants to militarize the police. I don't know how that's going to work, considering that the military, their goal is to defend the Constitution and the country, not defend the president, the Constitution, the country. But I do know, just looking at a lot of former people I served with, or just people I know that served in other branches, a lot of them support Trump, and I just don't understand it. It makes no sense to me at all. He is not for veterans at all. What departments did Trump want to get rid of? I'm Googling here, y'all. Bam. Okay. It's 19 federal agencies. I knew it was a lot. Okay, so here are the federal agencies. And this was this came from when Trump decided to run the first time. So when he was running for election, the very first time, he wanted to get rid of the African Development Foundation. It funds African agriculture, infrastructure, and community development projects with grants. He wanted to get rid of the Appalachian Regional Commission, which funds projects meant to bolster businesses, education, culture, and economic development in the Appalachia. This is the area that J.D. Vance claims he's from, even though he's really not from the Appalachia. His grandparents is living in Appalachia, but he wanted to get rid of them. The Chemical Safety Board, he wanted to get rid of that. The Corporate for National and Community Service. And the Corporation for National and Community Service, the AmeriCorps, they're part of that. Public Broadcasting Channel, he wanted to get rid of that. PBS and NPR, he wanted to get rid of that. The Delta Regional Authority, those are businesses that fund communities along the Mississippi River Delta. The Denali Commission, he wanted to get rid of that. They work on infrastructure and utilities in Alaska. And Alaska is a very red state. So the fact that he wants to take out money that helps the infrastructure in Alaska, I'm surprised that Alaska supports him. The Institute of Museum and Library Services, he wanted to get rid of them. Bam, X them. The Inter-American Foundation, they provide financial aid to Latin America and the Caribbean. I don't know why the Latino community supports him. He wants to remove all funding for Latin America and the Caribbean. we do know that Puerto Rico is a Latin American country, but they are a territory of the United States, right? I don't know why I didn't know this. I know when the hurricanes happened, I think Maria and Ivan, I think that's what it was, and Trump withheld funding for them to the disaster relief. Speaking of disaster relief, damn it, everybody I know that's black in Orlando that applied for the emergency assistance through FEMA, we all got rejected or denied. But anywho, he had told Puerto Rico that he had stopped the aid and the funding for them to have for the disaster relief, right? But what I didn't know is that he tried to trade Puerto Rico. I guess once he realized that Puerto Rico, yeah, he wants to get rid of the FBI too. You're right. He wants to get rid of the FBI too. With Puerto Rico, he wanted to trade Puerto Rico, get rid of them, and trade them for Greenland. I thought, if I'm not mistaken, Greenland is the country that's covered in ice. Iceland is the one that's pretty green. Is that the? Yeah, he wanted to trade them. I want to say in 2018, just 6 years ago. Okay, so the U.S. Trade and Development Agency, he wants to get rid of them. The Legal Services Corporation, the ones that provide legal aid for people for low income Americans, he wanted to get rid of them. The National Endowment for the Arts, he wanted to get rid of them. The National Endowment for Humanities, these basically scholarship programs for arts and projects like that. The Neighborhood Reinvestment Corporation, he wanted to axe them. The Northern Border Regional Commission, he wanted to get rid of them. The Overseas Private Investment Corporation, gone. United States Institute of Peace. So basically, this organization promotes world peace. He wants to get rid of them. The United States Interagency Council on Homelessness, he basically said, fuck them people. He wanted to get rid of them. This covers 20 different federal agencies. The Woodrow Wilson International Center for Scholars, he also wanted to get rid of them. So these are different federal agencies that he wanted to get rid of. Trump, FBI, remove. Let's see. With the FBI, he has modified his stance on them. He now just wants to ditch FBI background checks for security clearances. So basically, he can issue out a security clearance to anybody he wants to. I miss this child. Yesterday, Trump says that RFK Jr.'s proposal to remove fluoride from the public water system sounds okay to me. This man trying to kill us. He wants to remove the fluoride from the public water. Okay, so he wants to control the Justice Department and the FBI. Here we go. Let's see what it says. So some of Donald Trump's allies are assembling proposals to curtail the Justice Department's independence and turn the nation's top law enforcement body into an attack dog for conservative causes. So basically, he wants them to do his bidding. So not necessarily get rid of them, but to make them overseers. That's pretty much it. If he's successful, the overhaul could represent one of the most consequential actions of a second presidency, given the Justice Department's role in protecting dramatic institutions and upholding the rule of law. It also marks a dramatic departure from the department's mission statement, which identifies independence and impartiality. It's just too much. that he wants to do. The FBI will have new constraints on it, with a lot of the FBI's responsibilities being shifted to local law enforcement agencies. Trump feels that the Department of Justice has institutional problems, and it's not just the personnel that he wants to purge. He thinks he needs to purge the whole DOJ and then reform it. When I think about this too, when I think about all these different agencies that he's talking about, the DOJ, the FBI, like purging people from their job. He wants to make civil servants, civil servants will be under government. Technically, civil servants are, quote unquote, property of the United States government anyway. If you work for the government and you got a badge, your badge probably will say something along those lines, or the contract that you sign may say something along those lines. But he wants to make it where, like, Anna, I'm gonna just use you in the chat since I know you're here. If you decided to just go apply for a job for the IRS, and he knows that you are a Democrat or you're progressive or you're independent, you're anything but a MAGA Republican, he would deny you the job. He's only trying to put his people in those positions to be basically overseers of the country, to have total control over the control, authoritarian rule over the country. So overhauling the Department of Justice will allow Trump's administration to pursue initiatives that will dismantle hiring programs that's meant to boost diversity in the workplace. It will end federal oversight of the police department, specifically departments being accused of racist practices. And the Trump administration will put in place their own full-time policy staffers. Like, I just don't get, even though I figured it out a long time ago, that the people that support him, that are diehard supporters of him, they support him, not because they're necessarily in the cult. It's because this is the way that they actually truly believed in the first place. Nobody had to change their minds to make them follow Trump. This is what they have always felt within their own being, and now they just have somebody that's out in the forefront that is doing the same thing, doing what they've always thought should be done. And they're rallying. They're like excited about that shit. I like, usually with a cult mentality, someone manipulates you into thinking or behaving a certain way. I just don't think that a majority of these people, there's been manipulation has happened. I think that their true colors are just being shown. This is just what's been in them all along, and it's just coming to the forefront. They feel empowered that he's out in the forefront. And because, I mean, when you listen to a lot of the things that he's been saying that he wants to do, that he will do, just the language that he speak, they steady in the background, clapping it up. He got up on stage the other day and pretended to suck the dick of the microphone, and they all in the background cheering him on. Like, what? And I really don't think they laughing with him. I think they laughing at him. But because he brave enough to do it, that's pretty much it. It just blows my freaking mind. It blows my freaking mind that I gotta go to work with these people. That I gotta live in the same neighborhoods as these people. But because deep inside, I'm genuinely a good person. with a good heart. You know, I could have some mean moments, and I could dislike a lot of things and a lot of people. I could dislike a lot of stuff. Have my opinions about a lot of stuff. That was next level. If Biden had done that, Republicans would have called for him to be jailed for sex offense. Yes. If Biden had done that, the same way with the garbage comment. Now Donald Trump has called Americans garbage for years. He has done a lot more repeatedly since February. There have been repeated instances that he has called us garbage. He has said we are trash. He said all of that. Good night. Yeah, we gotta pray. Yes, indeed. Have a good night, Kat. Thanks for coming through. He said all this stuff ever since February that I have paid attention to. He may have been sending it before, but this is what I had paid attention because it's been so repetitive. And then we get the comedian, the wannabe comedian. I never thought Tony was funny. We get Tony come out and then say that Puerto Rican is a floating garbage can, right? Then everybody's up in arm and enraged. And then Biden comes up there and says that the only people that's garbage is his supporters. And they tear him to shreds. To the point that he had to come out and make a fucking apology and try to clarify that's not what he really meant to say. He wasn't talking. They tore him to shreds as if Trump just wasn't saying it the day before himself. And I feel like this particular time, with the exception of the fact they continuously keep tying Biden to Harris, I think Biden should say what the fuck he want to say. He only got 2 months left in office anyway. And if I was him, if the shit didn't go down like it was supposed to go down, fuck it. Don't leave office. You already got immunity. That's what the Supreme Court says. And enact your immunity and say that because it was not a fair election, you ain't going no motherfucking where until it is. That's what I would do. But he too good-natured of a man, too kind-hearted of a man to do that. But that's what I would do if I was him. Anna, I missed something you said, I think. I feel you. I care about people, but I feel like if they ring blatant hate and supporting Trump, I missed that part again. I think horrible thoughts. I do. I'm telling you, when that old man, like we started the conversation off, he was telling me he wasn't feeling good. He's feeling down. He just made 87 on Saturday. And I was like, oh, I'm so happy for you. You made it to your 87th birthday. I know you feeling a little down, but I'm glad you know you got there. It's your birthday. We were talking about that. And then we got on the vote. Because he was like, it was just out of the place. You know, we talking about his birthday and how he feeling. And he made it to 87 and he said, I'm voting for Trump. That's how easy it came out. I'm voting for Trump. And I said, yeah, not me. You know, I'm trying to be not direct because one, we're not supposed to be talking about politics at work. That isn't one of our policies. So I definitely don't want to talk about politics with a client. And I'm like, no, you know, I'm not gonna be able to do that one. So then he said, yeah, all of our freedoms are being taken away. All of our rights are being taken away. So you're not gonna vote? I say, no, I'm gonna vote. Matter of fact, I've already voted. I voted for Harris. And he's like, no, she's gonna take more and more of our liberties. I said, well, based off of what you just said, all your liberties and freedoms have already been taken away. So there's nothing left to take. So what else can Harris take from you? I say, but I don't believe that she's the one trying to take rights away. I believe that Trump is the one who's being the oppressor. He's trying to oppress many people's rights. And he's saying, every liberty we had is gone. I say, what liberties? And I got stumped. I pulled out my phone And I Googled the word liberty like I didn't know what the fuck it meant. And I know I do. And I'm like, basically, you're right. What liberties are you missing? I said, Trump is the one who is stomping on gay rights. He's the one who is bragging about taking away reproductive rights of women. And I started rambling off a lot of different things that he's trying to suppress. Um, Immigration, the citizenship, things, a lot of things, just fucking affordable health care that you apparently need right now because your 87-year ass old ain't feeling your best right now. You know, I say, what does you as an 87-year-old Italian white man, what liberties have you fucking lost? And I don't believe I said the word fucking, but I was saying, what liberties have you lost? And then he looked at me and said, I'm not gonna argue with you. Turned around, stomped off. I'm voting for Trump. And then he walked off. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay. And then the next day he had a big Trump damn banner on his garage. I was like, and so my first thought, Anna, I swear, my first thought was, that's why the fuck you sick. That was my first thought. I was like, all that hatred, all that animosity in your body, all the lies you feeding yourself, that's why the fuck you sick right now. That's exactly what I thought about that man when he walked away. I was like, oh. My neighbor down the street, so she came down here and she was cutting my grass and she was blowing all the leaves and everything. And I looked up, but this is the one I'm having the yard sign wars. And after I put my hate has no home here sign up, I was like, I'm not gonna put no more signs in my yard. I have nothing else to prove to her. But now every time I look, it ain't even when I look at her. It's when I look at her husband. I get utter disgust in my mouth. I taste it. It's a foul, funky taste in my mouth every time I look at that man. You are a Jamaican immigrant. True, you're married to a white woman in this neighborhood. You've been living in America for the last 14 years. And you yourself do not understand what rights that you already have, that you've been afforded, that are being infringed upon. If he goes through this deportation thing and he considers Jamaica an enemy of this country, you gone, my boy. He already put a ban when he was the president on Jamaican citizens coming to this country. That was when he did the Muslim ban. Damn near every country that black people are predominant in was on that fucking list as not being able to come here. There was people I know that was trying to get spousal visas or student visas to come here, and that shit was held up, frozen in time, and ain't started back up yet for them to come to this country, because a lot of that shit does not expire until 2025. A lot of that stuff carried over into the Biden administration, and he could not turn the tables on it because it was already agreed upon by Congress. Anna said something I missed real quick. Yeah, but at the same time, the truly evil people who feel no empathy seem to live forever. They do. That's why he probably 87 and oh, just living on honoring ass. He probably gonna never come out. He used to come out every day, I swear. Like, I would come by through his neighborhood, and I would have to go see some other people first. So by the time I come back to him, he might have been outside in some khakis and a little polo shirt. By the time I come back to him, this man has put on a full 3-piece Italian suit that he still owned from the 60s and 70s, just to show me he could still fit him and still look good in it. He always tried to dress to impress. I didn't even see him today. Like, I go through his neighborhood daily. I didn't even see him today. Well, that's one that was gone. That's one that was lost. But the funny thing was, I wasn't sure about the guy who helped me with my car Sunday. I just assumed he was a Trumper, but I wasn't sure. Because when I asked him, could he help me with my car? He seemed hesitant. He seemed real hesitant at first. And I'm like, this is the only motherfucker on this lot. So I'm asking whoever out here, right? And so he agreed to help me try to get the cars together. And like I said, we got it to a point where I can get it home. So once we did that, he was like, "Yay, I did a good fucking deed." I was like, "Yeah, you did. Thank you very much." You know, he's like, "You could tell people Rob did a good deed for you." I said, "Okay, yeah, thank you." I said, "Matter of fact, I even give you a hug." And he was like, "See, this is what the fuck America is about." I was like, "Yeah, this is what it should be about." You know, people helping their neighbors. He said, "Tell them I did a good deed." I was like, "Why is he so insistent on me telling who? I don't know who I'm supposed to be telling. I don't know you. I just met you at the gas station." But he was like, "Tell them I did a good deed." I was like, "Okay." So I just assumed he was a Trumper because he just like was so adamant for me telling people that he helped me. So I'm letting y'all know, Rob at the gas station at the Amoco on what street is that? It ain't Whispering Pines. I don't even know what that street called. I don't know. We was on Bonnier Road, the Amico on Bonnier Road. Rob, I don't know how many Robs in that area, but he helped me, y'all. So y'all know. But it was just like the weirdest interaction. After he helped me, he just seemed like, "Oh my God, I did this." And I think when I decided to give him the hug, he was just like lost his fucking mind. Like, "Oh my God, she gave me a hug." I was like, "Dude, you got my black ass home." It wasn't like I was in a neighborhood that I felt uncomfortable in. I was just like, I got this fucking dog in the car. I'm tired. I'm trying to go see Bill Clinton. And he got me back to my house. I didn't have to tow my car. That's the only thing I was thinking about. I didn't care about what race he was, what political status he was. I just wanted to get my fucking car back. But I don't know. It was just something about the interaction, even though it was never brought up. Did I have my Harris Walls button on? I think I did have my Harris Walls button on. Because I can't wear my political paraphernalia at work. So I think I had that button on. I don't know, child. But yeah, I be feeling some kind of way. I do. I feel some kind of way now. Just leaving out of work, I was like, I was already judged. And I said, they finna tear this whole area up. They finna tear it up. However, I do know that my work area may be 50-50. Okay. The ones who are more well-to-do, like all the celebrities, I think there's a more Trump area. Because I see all the big flags and signs up. But I remember when it wasn't Mike Brown. It was an officer that had killed a black man. And he lived here in Windermere, Florida. And he came home and they had like graffitied and burned his house. Hey, what guy was that? What situation was that? What? It was like so many things happening back to back. I can't remember which one it was. And there was like a huge protest in the area. And a lot of the not so well-to-do Windermere citizens were like, they took to the streets, baby. They marched on Old Boy House. And what officer was that? What situation was that? Officer house damaged Windermere after police shooting. See if I can find it. Nope, that wasn't it. Ooh. I don't remember what that was. But I'm just popping up so many doggone police-related shootings that I didn't realize was here. Good, googly moogly. I can't remember who it was. But the person didn't live here specifically, but they had a house here. And the citizens of Windermere tore that motherfucker's house up. I don't remember. Okay, child. So, yeah. I don't know. Tomorrow, I got to be at the doctor at 10 to start my procedure. I'm in a rental car, so I don't want to transfer my car window mount over to that car because it is sticky. It is hard to get off that my car window. and I don't want to put it into this rental, and then with the heat this week, melting it to the window, and I can't get it out the window. So there may not be a PNTV tomorrow. But as far as like election coverage, I don't think I'm going to do it, y'all. If I do any type of video tomorrow, it may be just to come on and say what the results are. But I just can't. I just don't want to. I just want to hear. I don't want to hear anything but Kamala Harris is the next president of the United States. Because if I hear anything other than that, I know for a fact that I am not going to be able to sleep. I know for a fact that when I go about my day on Wednesday, I'm going to be so angry that I may need to stay in the house. Because if I go outside the house and I see anybody that voted for him, that it ain't going to be good. I already know it. I feel it in my soul. Like, there are more live streams tomorrow that I can watch already, so you should take a night and chill. I'm going to share Brian Tyler Cohen's link. He has a link up already. He's going to be doing the live stream. I'm going to share that on the community board, so if you want to watch through him. I love his commentating that he does when we do like the rallies and stuff like that. So that's why I share him up mainly. Or I may just share a link directly from either Tim Waltz or Kamala Harris's page. I don't know. You'll see it on the community board though. But I need the views. I know I do, but I just don't. I just can't see myself. Like I've seen, like I watch a couple tarot card readers that have been like following the election and they've been doing readings. This is one particular lady who like seems to be spot on when she does her reading. A lot of the things that she says that she in that reading comes to fruition within the next week or two. So I watch them and I really believe that as a reader myself, that I really have foresight when it comes to the cards. It may not necessarily be 100%, but it's very close. I refuse to read because I don't want to see if the cards show me something that I don't agree with. I don't want to see it. So I refuse to read for this election. And like I said, I probably could have got all the views and clicks and stuff that I wanted or needed through that, but I'm like, I just don't want that. I don't want to flip the card and then tell me some shit that I don't want to hear. I think I just want to be blissfully ignorant, at least for the night. I think, at least until late night. I don't know. I don't have to go to work Wednesday because Wednesday is my regular off day. So that's a positive thing because I already know some stupid motherfucker gonna say something at work. Remember I told y'all people my job don't vote? Like 5 of us actually vote. Baby, they voting now. They voting now. And it ain't necessarily Kamala Harris either. They coming out the woodwork. It's bringing them all out from all sides. Ooh. Okay, well, I'm gonna get off here talking about Trump. Anything that y'all wanted to address? Because I mean, I got time. My phone is charged up. This is live, so it's not using any storage capacity on my phone. I don't have to be nowhere. I'm gonna try to go to sleep in another hour, so I want to try to eat. I need to be drinking water. What did I do with my water? Did I not bring it in here? I'm supposed to be drinking water because I gotta stop drinking water at midnight. What the hell I do with the water? I'm in my guest room, y'all. I don't know if you knew. You got to jump off too. Thank you for watching. Yeah, I need to drink some water because I got to stop eating and drinking at midnight. So I wanted to drink as much water as I could by midnight. And then when I get up in the morning, just go straight to the doctor and knock that shit out. So just in case y'all didn't know, there are several storms that are happening in Oklahoma. So I want to send my prayers out to the people in Oklahoma. A lot of severe storms, tornadoes type stuff going on in Oklahoma. Um, there's another hurricane or a tropical storm hitting Jamaica and Cuba area right now, and I think it's going towards Louisiana area. Prayers out for those people as well. Hopefully y'all get the FEMA assistance that they said we was gonna get that we didn't get. So yeah, prayers out to them. Music producer Quincy Jones passed away. Also, that's another thing that I was gonna mention. Thank you so much, Anna. It should be simple. I just gotta go drink the dying shit and then figure out what the heck they gonna tell me so I can know where to move forward. Once I get this answer, I'll be able to get better answers on whether or not I can join my spin class. I think I may not be able to join it this year. I'm gonna just try to get on my stationary bike and try to get myself mobile in motion. Cause if I gotta fight, I hate to say it, but if I gotta fight, I gotta be physically able to do so. I can't be a thug out here that can't fight. I'm just saying. Thank y'all for coming in. Thank you, Anna and Kat, for joining in on the conversation. Like I said, I know we got a few people in here. Y'all just been sitting back being quiet, but I appreciate y'all being here as well. I will see y'all in the next video. Talk to you again soon. Peace.